Hi again, it's Ryan Miller with Etna Interactive. What we're going to be talking today is about horizons in online marketing. This is a first of a six-part series in which I'll be talking about some predictions for what's going to be happening in the future and how you could take advantage of those ideas now in your practice. Before we begin, let me profile the video so you can decide if this is something that will benefit you and your office. We're focusing today specifically on opportunities related to the medical industry. Now, this is something that we're going to be talking about online marketing strategy. So knowing this is about the bigger strategic picture, it's really appropriate for doctors, practice managers, and marketing managers inside the practice. So what we're going to do in this series as we talk about medical marketing horizons is I'm going to be making 6 predictions, 6 things that I see changing in the way that the web might benefit your practice and your patients, and giving you some ideas on how you can pull back from that 3 to 5 year prediction and get out ahead of the competition today. The first big idea is concierge medicine. Now, certainly this isn't a new idea, but it is somewhat new in the way that it influences the way that you engage your patients and promote your practice on the web. Now, here are my predictions looking out 3 to 5 years on some really common trends, some trends that are going to be, by my estimation, fairly commonplace. The first is that we're going to see a much tighter integration between practice management software and EMR systems, your scheduling and billing software, and the ability for both your patients and partners to access that data securely on the web. I believe that we're also going to see a significant number of added conveniences that come about as practices engage in using secure email to communicate with patients about their care and in many cases just their consultations online. And finally, my third prediction as it relates to concierge medicine covers really how we use communications in general on the web to improve patient compliance and make their lives just a little bit easier. Those might include things like automated reminders around consultation or treatments and more complex systems to help patients and their loved ones or their families comply with chronic disease care. So when we take a look at these 3 big ideas and how this relates to concierge medicine, really you have to think of the difference between a good and a great concierge before you dive into what we might do today. Think about your experience at a luxury hotel. You know, good concierge can help you make an appointment for a restaurant, maybe book some ground transportation, answer questions about the local community, and in general make your stay at that hotel just a little bit easier. When we talk about concierge medicine and we look at these ideas, really what we're considering is what would it look like for a great concierge in that hotel environment? Well, we'd have a concierge that didn't just book a restaurant, but really explored what our tastes were and what kind of dining experience we were hoping to have. We'd have someone who was really there for us day or night, able to answer our questions whenever it was that they arose. And we'd also have somebody who was really focused on communicating with us in a way that was secure and meaningful, making our experience, our interaction with that establishment richer. And ultimately, that's what we see happening in medicine, is that there's this trend towards convenience, secure communications on the patient's own terms, and access to resources any time of the day. So here are 3 things, 3 ideas that you can focus on for the near term to take the idea of concierge medicine and apply it today to benefit your practice. The first idea is really integrating your practice's software with the web. Now, 2 things that we're going to coach you on here is, first and foremost, talk to the vendor of the practice management software that you use today and ask them what modular software that they have available that can help you bring some of your applications from the office out to the web securely. Those might include things like lead capture forms, so allowing interested patients to express their interest with your practice and have that automatically entered into your software. It might include access to some of your scheduling systems or even to billing history and treatment histories. So talk to the vendor about what their software can do for you today. And as you look ahead to the future, many of you will be considering investing in new packages. So when you're looking at new packages, be sure that considering the web-enabled functionality of those packages is a part of your evaluation criteria. The next area where we see there's going to be an opportunity is really around secure messaging. So just a couple of tips here. The first is going to be to step back and really decide if the timing and the circumstances are right for you to engage in any kind of secure communications with a client online. In most general terms, you'll have inquiries coming from patients on the web, questions about your hours of operations, whether or not you do certain procedures, questions about pricing. Those are all fairly innocuous. But as soon as someone's confirmed as a patient and you have the opportunity to address their concerns, follow up with them about their treatment, or even answer questions of a clinical nature, you really need to be HIPAA compliant and you need to be engaging in secure encrypted communications. If the timing is right, there are some great and affordable solutions out there that are HIPAA compliant. I think there's an easy one out there that's owned by Google called Postini. There's lots of other packages that are sanctioned by various medical societies that will allow you to communicate in a secure and encrypted way with your patients on the web. And those are things that you could be doing today. Finally, the third area that we'll focus on in concierge medicine is really about convenience and communication. And it's a time and it's an opportunity for you to look at automating both your email communications and potentially even text messaging to remind patients of critical events. So what kind of reminders might you give out there? Well, it's up to you to decide. You know, for an aesthetic practice, maybe you remind a patient of an upcoming appointment, or even that it's time for them to consider replenishing a skincare product. For practices that are dealing with patients who have a chronic disease state, it's perhaps an opportunity for you to remind them of critical care opportunities, to remind them that it's time for checkups and to schedule certain types of follow-up appointments. And it's up to you to really, stretch the limit and look at how could you use an automated reminder, a text alert, to safely and securely, while respecting your patient's privacy, help them be a better patient and help them have better health overall. Now, there are great tools out there for those of you that are just looking at service-oriented reminders. Probably the most popular industry is called smilereminder.com, that allows you to send things like appointment reminders and birthday notices with very little effort. So none of these things today are especially seamless, all require a little bit of effort, but there are three ways that you might use really some future opportunities in the area of concierge medicine and online marketing in general to help grow your practice today. If you would like to learn more, of course, you can always reach out to us directly, and you know how to find us both through our newsletter and on Facebook. Thank you very much.